before any of y'all start asking me any questions about the Walter Scott case, why I haven't done a video about it, because how can I say this? It doesn't really mean much to me, and let me tell you what I mean by that. Now, brother deserved justice. Family deserved some justice. Brother deserved justice. That cop killed him in cold blood. Then lied about it. And the other cops that was on scene should be put in jail as well. But Walter Scott's mother and father, he does have a father. His mother seems like to be the only one in front of the camera. Every time she talks, Jesus, God, and God this and God that, and blah, blah, blah. But she said something that stood out to me. I was watching News 1 when this incident happened last year. And I was watching the various media channels. She said she did not, and I repeat, did not want any black organizations to come down. She didn't want no protests. She didn't want nobody march or anything. So my thing is, her and her family deal with the best way they deal with it. Now people gonna say, Harvey, she probably want a spectacle. She didn't want people's gonna come down and support, give up the family support, and try to put pressure on these people. Do you think they would let that guy go home on house arrest if he was an average Joe? No. The man should still be in jail, locked up. Just because they got an indictment does not mean he's going to go to jail. I said this with Eric Gardner's family. When the family started saying it wasn't racially motivated and all this other stuff, and the mother and the grandmother, his Eric Gardner mother, his children's grandmother, Eric Gardner's wife, their mother and the daughters and the sons start giving interviews about it wasn't racially motivated and blah blah blah. I said, you know what? I can't support them. When Marissa Alexander went through that stuff she was going through and knew was racially motivated. Matter of fact, Angela Corbett had something to do with the Trayvon Martin Zimmerman thing. She said it wasn't racially motivated, it was obviously racially motivated. I said I won't go there. I'm not going to take up for people who won't take up for themselves or won't speak truth to power. Same thing about the brother that got killed. He deserved justice. That off-duty Arab cop shot him, or plane club. I get either off or plane club. Either way, the cop didn't identify himself. She killed that brother. When the guy got on his former football player brother got out there and threw the black community under the bus, I'm like, I'm still getting people sending me comments for that video talking shit. If the black community said, y'all can deal with it yourself. If nobody talks about that case because y'all keep throwing the very people that y'all want to support y'all under the bus. So y'all don't ask me about Walter Scott family. Walter Scott family, they'll be okay. If the guy get charged and go to jail, hey, the law worked. But I'm not going to sit here and do stories and defend people who want to throw us under the bus and we've done nothing to them. Now that being said, George Zimmerman is a catalyst for a lot of this modern day murders against black people. I'm not saying he started, but it ratcheted up since Zimmerman shot and got away with killing Trayvon Martin. And you know what this fat fuck decided he wants to do? He wants to, better yet, let me play the news clip and you guys will hear it for yourself.
With another despicable story, this time out of Florida, this idiot George Zimmerman is back in the news. He announces he is going to auction the 9mm gun he used to kill Trayvon Martin in 2012. Zimmerman says he hopes to raise $5,000 from tomorrow's auction because he wants the money to be used to fight Black Lives Matter, what he calls violence against law enforcement officers, which, I'm sorry, where has that taken place? He also wants to ensure the demise of Angela Corbett, who served as the special prosecutor of his case and also battled Hillary Clinton's anti-firearm rhetoric. During a phone interview with Orlando's WOFL News, Zimmerman explained his reasoning for the auction.
And I thought it's time to move past the firearm. And if I sell it and it sells, I move past it. Otherwise, it's going in a safe for my grandkids and never to be, used or seen again.
So you put it in a safe for your grandkids versus destroy it if you don't want to be used again. And once Trayvon Martin's family heard the news, they issued the following statement. Quote, the Trayvon Martin Foundation is committed to its mission of ending senseless gun violence in the United States. This election season, we're laser focused on furthering that mission. As such, the foundation has no comment on the actions of that person. Folks, for one, look, he's an SOB and he's sick.
Zimmerman needs to go back into whatever hole it is that he lives in, disappear from public sight, and forget about his 15 minutes of infamy.
He can't help himself, though. He can't help. He's going to continue to milk it out. I don't believe for 1 minute. I think that he's using the charge that he's going to donate the money to fight Black Lives Matter as a ruse to sort of make the funds go up. I don't believe it for 1 minute. I think that he's personally wants to subsidize his lifestyle off of his infamy, off of his level of evilness. And this man is just, I just can't even speak to how evil this person is.
It's not just George Zimmerman, though. It's the culture around George Zimmerman that defended him. The folks like that you mentioned, O'Reilly and Hannity. It's the culture of right-wing politics that stood beside him, organizations like the NRA and others. It's the larger culture. George Zimmerman does not get to exist and is not free if there's not a larger culture that supports that and allow that to happen. I do want to say one thing, though. George Zimmerman and I do agree on one thing, that we have to get rid of Angela Corey for different reasons. But we actually, but a broken clock is right, twice a day. And George Zimmerman, for all the wrong reasons, wants to get rid of Angela Corey. But she threw that case with George Zimmerman. She prosecuted Marissa Alexander for defending herself, and she's done so many other horrible things that Color of Change, along with many other organizations, our super PAC, will be doing work this election cycle to get out Angela Corey and a number of other bad DAs around the country.
And we also need to find out who the individuals are that are bidding on this gun. Because that says a lot about them.
Well, again, remember, there are a lot of people who gave thousands of dollars for his legal defense fund, and they were backing him big time in that as well.
Which he didn't pay his lawyers.
I'm hoping like Anonymous or some of those internet activists dig in and discover who's bidding on the gun, and we expose them, we expose where they work, who they're associated with, and we call them out for who they are.
All right, then going to our next story, Ralph, for 12. Thank you so very much.
Now let me say this right now, and I know y'all saying that's the woman that helped throw the case. That's Angela Corey, prosecutor known over in that area. Now, no, she's not black. Well, technically, I guess it's how you look at it. She's Syrian. She's a sand nigga, but look at her. Look at her skin. Look at her facial characteristics. But she thinks she's white, depending on if you watch Angela Corey's news coverage, she put all that powder makeup on her face to make her look lighter, to try to pretend that she's either Italian or white or some other ethnicity, Latino or something. But technically, all of them come from us. But I'll talk about that a little bit later in another video, because I keep pointing out to people, these motherfuckers try to run away from who they are, and they throw us under the bus in the process. Look at it. Look at it. You think there's a light-skinned black female, but okay. Anyways, this bitch threw that case. She and the prosecutors purposely let Zimmerman get away with it. Now, we know we talk about the jury and shit, but Angela Corey, this is probably the only time I'm going to agree with Zimmerman. She got to go bye-bye. But the irony is, she threw the case for Zimmerman. Zimmerman should be thinking that, okay, she looked out for me. Another person of color who got issues with black folk look out for me. Zimmerman want her gone. See how they turn on each other when you least expect it? But nah, this is a no-brainer. They took our old girl back during the 2000 election with Bush and Gore, when she went in favor for Bush, and then she did something they didn't like, or said something they got rid of. Wasn't it Kathleen something? They got rid of her. I think Kathleen Willie, whatever her name is. But anyways, George Zimmerman is a sick motherfucker. Now, I say it now, and I say it again. Why haven't you brothers down there, you so-called gangsters down there, dealt with this motherfucker? This dude is racist. Every time this dude opens his mouth, he proves me and so many others who've been yelling from the start about this motherfucker. I told y'all, this motherfucker leans to the right. This motherfucker became white for a period of time. white folks got excited because this motherfucker killed a black kid. And they defended him, and they still defending him to this day because they got so much invested in George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman is a so-called Hispanic who wants to be white so bad. His daddy has kept him out of trouble. He talking about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter ain't done a damn thing to him. Then he talking about violence against police officers. Well, Black Lives Matter been violent against police officers. There have been other groups of people the last 4 years have been violent against police officers. Black Lives Matter, or when they say hands up, don't shoot, all they done is marched. Seriously. Black Lives Matter ain't done a damn thing to George Zimmerman. See what it is? He knows Black Lives Matter is a trigger word for a lot of people who don't understand it or don't give a fuck about black folk in general. Zimmerman think he's slick, but the irony is he talk about police. Wasn't this motherfucker in a fight with a police officer? Did he beat up a police officer before? Didn't this motherfucker fight a police officer? This motherfucker fought a police officer, but a 17-year-old kid supposedly done damage to him. Right. This man, every year, this dude, since he's been acquitted, this dude, he can't help himself. He always got to say something against black folk. Black folk wasn't thinking about George Zimmerman. Hell, I ain't mentioned George Zimmerman in a video in a minute, but this motherfucker want to get back in the media. He wants to stir up trouble. And like the brother said, I hope Anonymous and those internet activists, they found who's doing this. And they should find out where that money came from. They still can find where George Zimmerman got his money from. And a lot of them wore the uniform. Or wear the uniform. Zimmerman is a typical person of color that wants to get ahead, but he won't fuck with his own. He's gonna fuck with other people in the family, but more importantly, black folk, and say, see, I shot that nigger. But let me say something about my brothers in Florida. Y'all out there doing harm to each other. And this motherfucker gets on social media. This motherfucker's bragging. This motherfucker's rubbing in the black community face. Let me tell you something. And I notice I ain't spoke that much about Trayvon family stuff because there's another group of people that basically toward the black community. Thanks but no thanks. But the reason why I speak about George Zimmerman because he's been the most bold about it. At least the other motherfuckers that have done it, they want somebody to shut the fuck up. Let me say something to these motherfuckers of color. Y'all gonna fuck around the wrong motherfucker one day. Because I'm telling you, if Trayvon was my brother, I guess I'd be doing time in jail right about now. There ain't no way this motherfucker be walking the streets. And those jury that let him get away with it, this would piss me off. People like myself that did videos saying from the start, we said this motherfucker is racist. This motherfucker killed that kid. That motherfucker knew exactly what he was doing. Oh, you guys see race everywhere you go. Georgie is not a racist. He dated a black woman. Just because somebody fucks and sucks a black man or a black woman does not mean they don't have a racist tendencies or a racist mindset. Our founding fathers enslaved black folk, had black folk killed, and still was fucking and sucking off black folk. So that don't mean shit. That's just a nut. That's a biological response. George killed that kid because he couldn't get it up at home. He had a fight with his wife. Even his own cousins have said, yo, George is racist. Co-workers say he's racist. And they dismissed all of the judge and Jacory. They did everything that went to George Zimmerman character, they dismissed. But they went after attack that poor kid. Well, he got suspended from school. What kid in this country had never been in trouble at school? Well, he had marijuana. He smoked some marijuana. Okay, all of us that smoked some marijuana at some point. This is why I told y'all when they was trying to criminalize Trayvon Martin with marijuana, I said, well, then we should be talking about legalizing then, since they want to vilify and make Trayvon out to be a poster boy of all things wrong with marijuana. Marijuana do not make you fucking aggressive. It make you mellow in anything. Make you either have the munchies or suppress your appetite, one or the other, depending on who you are. This motherfucker sat back and he's been fucking with black folk. See, the problem is he know in Florida Negroes scared down there. Step up north. Step up on the west side, south side, Chicago, or the west or southern suburbs. You ain't gonna make it back to Florida, motherfucker. Pay me enough money, I'll do this motherfucker myself. I can't stand this fat bastard. I'm dead serious. This motherfucker, he keeps on just turning that fucking knife. And you sit there, he said, look, dude, you got away with murder. Go sit down somewhere. Nah, not him. He still wants to. He just keep telling the black community, ha, I got away with it. My daddy made sure of that. Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly, and them, they gonna get this. They gonna get this because they helped this bastard get away with it. Yeah, this motherfucker get away with killing that child. And I'm gonna tell you something. This is why Bill O'Reilly got his karma when they took custody, when his kids flipped on him. But we don't see it that way. Gerardo Rivera talking shit. You know, these motherfuckers, they don't think that one of these days God gonna say, you know what? You guys get all this shit. You done hurt all these people over the years. Now, karma's a motherfucker. These motherfuckers are set back and watch our brothers and sisters cry, beg for justice, and then get it. This is why so many of our people are apathetic towards the judicial system. And I can't get mad at them for it. I can't tell black men and black women not trust the system. I can't tell them to say put their faith in a system that has let them down time and time again. George Zimmerman should not be walking around free. Anybody who's hell, you even had to be a fucking law student that had no common sense. They made the Rachel Gentile the villain of the story when this motherfucker killed Trayvon Martin. People in the media was making fun of that then 19-year-old young woman. Everybody was making George Zimmerman out to be the victim of the story. This motherfucker killed the kid simply because the kid was walking through the neighborhood. George Zimmerman never done that to a white kid. Would have never done that. Y'all know it. And every time George Zimmerman talks, he proves us right. George Zimmerman hate black folk with a passion. And ain't nobody getting nothing to him. Ain't nobody did a damn thing to George Zimmerman. What it is, people like George Zimmerman, they know they can get away with laying their hands on us. And the law enforcement, the media, these other people, they're not going to say anything. They're going to give George Zimmerman people like George Zimmerman a wide berth. But Angela Corey she do have to go. Because she threw the damn case. She gave Zimmerman an out. She gave George Zimmerman a fucking out. Let's keep it fucking real. George Zimmerman should have been in jail. Or somebody should have dealt with his ass. I know people saying 2 wrongs to make a right. Yes, you know what? We got to stop with that. This motherfucker gets on social media. He talks about the president. He talks about black celebrities. He talks about the black community. We ain't get shit to George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman, just by the shit he said, and his queer brother and his father and mother got on TV saying, proves that what everybody said about him and what we already knew about him, that he was racist and he's a killer. And then the Hispanic community, they talking about black, come to our channel saying, why are we speaking out against Donald Trump? Where the fuck we all at with George Zimmerman on TV, his family on TV? It's funny how y'all want us to come out and stand with y'all, but y'all don't say shit about this motherfucker. Just like the Peter Liang thing. All them agents came out, showed their true motherfucking colors, and then you expect black Americans to have y'all back. Are y'all kidding me? But Angela Corey, the bitch gotta go. She went after cases with black people who were wronged. You knew, and then you turn around and let George Zimmerman get away with shit. Come on. Don't tell me about these handkerchief heads, these sad niggas. These motherfuckers want to be white so bad. They say, well, how do we get accepted by white folk? Oh, I know. Let's go out here and vilify the black community. Let's go out here and join white folk and show them that you ain't got to worry about us, boss. we'll stand. We're gonna go out here and we got your back. We're not gonna aid these niggers. Then when something happened to one of them, we in the black community, we praying for them. Not me, not anymore. George Zimmerman knew exactly what he was doing when he messed with Trayvon Martin. He knew exactly what he was doing when his family went to Fox. I told y'all way when it started. I said when his family ran to Fox instead of running to someplace like a CNN or NBC or something or CBS, they ran right to Fox. And they started attacking the black community and the president. And at that time, President Obama didn't even say anything about what was going on. Sharp didn't even say anything about what's going on. It was black people, those of us in social media was talking about this. When President Obama said, I had a son, he would have been like Trayvon Martin. President Obama said, that could have been my son that got shot. That's all he said. He didn't say Zimmerman was guilty or not. Hannity and them give money. Hannity ginned it up. That's why I said the Fox FCC license should have been revoked. Geraldo Rivera got out there talking shit about blacks. And you know, no brother and sister get on TV and say, you know, who bring all the drugs in the country? Who do all this? See, Trump been saying that shit. And that's probably why some blacks out here are cheering for Trump, because Trump has had a willingness to say some things that a lot of us been thinking about lately. I can't go there yet because I'm not gonna join a racist because somebody's racist towards me. But I will point out the hypocrisy. I will point out the karma's coming back to bite you motherfuckers on the ass though. George Zimmerman and people like him, these cops and stuff that are shooting our brothers and sisters down every day. They need to go be 6 feet under somewhere. That cop that shot that brother, the one that was an honorary cop, he got convicted, but the media hushed that story up the week before last. I admit to do a video and I apologize, but knows they didn't want to talk about that. The cases where the police officers are being charged, the media don't want to talk about it. Because the idea that we get some sort of justice. Look at the Laquan McDonald thing. That cop is crying like he's the victim of it. How dare you? That boy family is destroyed. See it on video over and over. That boy getting shot on Pulaski Road like that 16, 17 times. But these prosecutors, white and of color, said, you know, fuck the black community. Look at Tamir Rice. That baby got shot, and the prosecutor said, we're not going to take this to trial. Knowing that the cop already had a history of violence. That's why I understand why some brothers and sisters say, hey, I can't vote, but sometimes the national election don't mean shit to me. I don't give a fuck who's the president, to be perfectly honest with you. It's the local elections, your senators and your congressmen and your state senators and state congressmen. This is what you are concerned about. These are the things that you need to be concerned about, because we let too many people of color come get in this country and leapfrog over us and then turn around and join white supremacy. Let me say this again. Angela Corey ain't white. Nina Alvarez is not white. That prosecutor didn't want to prosecute Laie. He's not white. These are people of color who felt to get their American dream, we gotta destroy a black person's dream. Like I said, I don't know how you brothers supposed to be gangsters down in Florida and Zimmerman walk around with impunity. Y'all can easily do what they say, no snitch. You can easily walk up on that motherfucker and deal with Zimmerman. Now, they tell you that's why people like George Zimmerman feel they can do whatever the fuck they want. But we'll fuck with each other all day. We need to evaluate who we are as a people. Because I'm telling you right now, all this yelling that we be doing, we got to start making examples out of motherfuckers. You cross the black community, you betray us, you need to be dealt with accordingly. Notice I said accordingly. I'm sick and tired of people thinking they can do shit to us. And George Zimmerman, he just keep talking shit. It's like he said, come on, black community, do something to me. I dare you. I double dare you. Angela Corey, she sat back and fucked over a lot of black folks in Florida. But see, the people in Florida, y'all gotta get off your ass and vote. This is why I tell people, national election, I can care less if Hillary or Donald Trump win, because we ain't gonna change anything for us. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If Donald Trump does win, the white folks supporting Donald Trump, they're gonna get a big ass nigga moment, and I'm gonna be laughing my ass off. I'm gonna be laughing. Those black folks saying we picked Donald Trump. I'm gonna be laughing my ass off. See, we know Hillary's a rat. We know Trump is a rat. But your local officials, you gotta stop calling this shit out as well. This bitch thinks she's white. So in Zimmerman, all this time, now Zimmerman said we gotta get rid of her. She threw the case for your ass, Zimmerman. You might want to shut the fuck up. But I tell you, they jockeying for whiteness. But like I said, I don't know how Zimmerman still walk around in Florida, and these Negroes always talking about, man, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. No, you guys, y'all need to step it up. I'm just being honest with you. If Zimmerman did something like that to my brother, ain't no way. I'm just gonna risk going to jail. I'm sorry. Because ever since that trial, ever since Zimmerman did what he did, the attacks against black folks are wrapped up, and the media has vilified Black Lives Matter. I mean, I got my issues with Black Lives Matter, but it's not the same issues why the media and whites got it. See, they mad because black folks have the audacity to say, hey man, we're human beings too. People don't like us doing that. They don't like us talking about our issues. People like it when they can bully us and make us out to be the bad guys or the bad gals of the story. How many police involved shootings have gone down the last 4 years? And a large majority of them come from white folk. How many prison breaks have gone on in this country the last 4 years? A lot of them white folk. But yet, we're Fox enough will have you thinking that the black man or black woman is the face of all evil when it comes down to crime in this country. When these good kids they get kidnapped and shit, that ain't black folks doing that. Who's doing all the kidnapping and shit? It ain't us. But we're the villains of the story. The very first time I heard about George Zimmerman is because of Jerry Ireland. I would never heard it until maybe the news started covering. And I said, let me go look at this guy recently. I said, wait a minute. This is clearly a guy who's stalking a kid. This should be an open and shut case. It should be easy. Then I realized all of a sudden when black social media started getting involved in it, all of a sudden Fox said, the niggas they're getting together. Oh, we can't have that. We gotta stop this. They gave George Zimmerman a job on CNN. That wasn't a slap in the face right there. We as a people need to stop. We need to understand who our enemies are. I keep telling y'all, we keep thinking it's just a white man or it's only a white man and white woman. No, you got people just like you and I. People who come from us who have decided they put all their eggs in the basket of white supremacy, and those people don't realize they just there for a short period of time to get that white agenda, their white supremacy agenda passed, and then when they get tired, they throw right back to the community. Talk to Ray Lewis and Chris Carter and them. Talk to them for a second. It's a few more black folks out there that went out there and cleaned and threw us under the bus, and then when white supremacy get tired of them, you guys, we don't need you no more. Let me say this again. We need to start letting motherfuckers know that we're not to be played with. And I'm sorry, I mean no harm, brothers and sisters, but we cannot let a bunch of uneducated savages be the face of the black community. They tied our hands. Angela Corey thinks she's white. She is not white. Now they're gonna get her now. And George Zimmerman still got supporters, and you know what? There's been people out there going to feel that she got to go. And if she loses, hey, that's karma, baby. But don't feel sorry for her. She's 60 something years old. She'll get a pension. But these motherfuckers of color, they threw a lot of black folks under the bus, and we in the black community think they down with us. They're not down with us. They're only down with us when they can get ahead. Then they give us the middle finger. But George Zimmerman, he should not be able to walk around. And whoever being on his weapon, I hope that the internet will find out who it is. You have to be a sick motherfucker to want to get this motherfucker money. And this motherfucker, she's slowly letting y'all know, hey, everybody that criticize me, y'all right, I hate black people. His queer brother got on TV and pretty much backed up what we already knew. But that damn jury, that judge and the prosecutors and all of them, they let a killer get away with it. This is why when I turn on the news, hear something happening in some town about some white family, I'm like, Not saying that I want to see harm befall them because of their skin color or because of the history of white supremacy. I'm just like, I can't be sympathetic to people who are not sympathetic to us. George Zimmerman, he's extremely dangerous because he feels like he can do whatever the fuck he want now. Because he figured, who's going to say something to me? Who's going to do something to me? I'm George fucking Zimmerman. That's the way he thinks. But see, we have to take responsibility for not being vocal with our dollars. Like when I see these black celebrities like Beyonce talking about what's going on about the transgender bathrooms and shit, these motherfuckers were silent when this whole thing went down in Florida. When Stevie Wonder shot cuss and we need to boycott Florida, all them handkerchief head Negroes still went down and performed. All our so-called allies went down and performed. That's what emboldened George Zimmerman. Because I'm going to tell you, if the state of Florida felt the pinch, those various venues felt the pinch, George Zimmerman been a fucking pariah. But we sit back, we pray to it. Hillary Clinton coming around giving a goddamn speech with Trayvon mom and Jordan Davis and Eric Garner and them, wife and mother. That don't mean shit. We need action. And I'm telling my brothers and sisters, we got to stop attacking each other. George Zimmerman should be a prime reminder of that we have no allies. Even other men or women of color. These motherfuckers have leapfrogged over us because we're too busy with the kumbayas and the I'ma pray to God and Jeebus shit got going on. This motherfucker is rubbing it in Trayvon's family face. He's rubbing it in that community's face. He's rubbing it in the black Americans' face. He's rubbing it in anybody's face that was for law and order. When he said, I'm going after Black Lives Matter, he knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. He wants acceptance from that white community so fucking bad. I pray he gets he get calm, and I hope he gets it bad, man. If any woman's dumb enough to lay down and have kids with him, I hope his kids meet the same fate that Trayvon Martin met. Yeah, I said it. Cause this motherfucker's basically saying, yeah, I killed the 17-year-old nigga and got away with it. What you gonna do to me? This man is not the victim. Trayvon was the victim. But Angela Corey and these other prosecutors or these people of color that have thrown the black community under the bus the last 4 years, especially the last 4 or 5 years, y'all gonna get y'all's. Y'all gonna get y'all, and I'm telling you right now, black folk better wake up, and I'm telling you right now, we gotta push that black church to the side. But I think that black church has done a lot of damage to us as well. Pray on it, brothers and sisters. Now we need to get out and go out and vote, control our dollars. And we gotta put some motherfuckers down who come in our community doing dirt. We got to. Even we gotta put some of our own brothers and sisters down. If you're not for your people, then you're against your people. But the brothers up there in Florida, I don't know how y'all call yourself supposed to be tough and gangsters and thugs. This motherfucker walking around with impunity. But you fuck with your own.